Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to Check Me. I just want to talk about this Lakers-Knicks game, this highly anticipated game. The game was at full capacity, 100%, 19, almost 20,000 in attendance to see LeBron James, Russell Westbrook, and Anthony Davis take on the Knicks with Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle. But I just want to talk about this game. There's a lot telltale signs, but also some good things, some interesting things I saw with the Lakers throughout this whole game. First of all, once again, Westbrook highly efficient coming off the bench, 7 for 13. 17 points, had 8 assists, 6 boards, 3 offensive rebounds. Actually led the team in offensive rebounds. Had 3 steals and then had 1 turnover. So he had a very highly efficient game. Anthony Davis and LeBron James both had 5 turnovers. LeBron James 11 for 25. So not as efficient. I'm shooting under his percentage. 2 from 8 from the 3. And then, but he was plus 22 on the floor. It's subjective because he's usually he. It's not subjective. It's skewed because when LeBron James is on the floor and his play will always be shown in the point column. But he had 28 points, getting closer. I think he only has 87 more points to get Jabbar. Anthony Davis once again, good night, 9 boards, 27 points. But I want to talk about just throughout the whole game, some things that I think Darvin Ham is beginning to realize in Anthony Davis's role since he's gotten back. Typically, before Anthony Davis was here, he was kind of that main option of just low post, get the ball in the high post, clear out, and let him work. When it comes to the end of the game, when it comes to the end of the game, when it comes to crunch time, playing small ball, a lot of times and throughout Anthony Davis's career, he's like Giannis. He has his back to the basket. What we saw a little bit during this game was him kind of being that Capella, that Steven Adams, that Dwight Howard, that DeMar, what's his name? Jordan, what's his name? What was his name? Jordan from the Clippers, right? What's his name? Let me figure out his name. I forgot his name. Jordan, Clippers. DeAndre Jordan from the Clippers. But you see him kind of being this screen pick and roll guy, and them being highly effective. I know it's not traditionally the way that he wants to play, but they were so effective with it. And what do? Do you guard AD off the screen? Do you pop out and try to guard him off the dribble? Do you sag the defense? Now what do you do? Because he can shoot as well too. So what we're seeing kind of is this. It's this high low pick and roll. I noticed they run a lot more high pick and rolls with LeBron James and AD, and they ran a lot more low pick and rolls with Russell Westbrook and Anthony Davis. Russell Westbrook does an amazing job, and we talked about this stat as far as just LeBron James and Russell Westbrook, them getting buckets around the basket, is versus anybody in the league. They're shooting it. They're at the highest rate. So with them being able to get the ball closer to the basket, and then now you add this piece of AD in the role who's setting low screens, and you got to guard both of them. This is going to be tormenting. Of course, they beat a 27-24 Knicks team. It's not like they beat the team they should beat, the Boston Celtics the other night. But it is an indicator of Darvin Ham is really starting to try to put this together. He's really trying to kind of figure this thing out of, hey, look, how do I make AD Russ? I'm pretty sure he had, not Russ, but AD work. I'm pretty sure he had a conversation with Anthony Davis saying, hey, look, like he did with Russ, and said, hey, look, we need you to come back, but this is the role you're going to play. Right? The thing is, I do think it benefits Anthony Davis, especially on the offense end. Now, he's still legit a menace on the defense end, and what he did defensively is literally what he does defensively is literally incomparable. But I like the fact of the low pick and roll. You can run when Russ is in the game, you can run the 1-5 pick and roll. When LeBron's in the game, you can run the high 1-5 pick and roll, and he finds ways to get to the basket. When you have players who can create like those three, and then you have Schroeder shooting, Lonnie Walker, Pat Bev was out this game, but the Lakers are starting to figure things out and getting easier buckets. And I want to mention that because just being able to get a high quality bucket is so much better than getting it just shooting a 3-pointer, relying on a 3-pointer. They shot almost the same amount of 3-pointers as Knicks. I think as the Knicks. No one was really hitting from the three this game. But what did you see? You saw small ball, and small ball. If you can do it right and you can run it effective, I think Darvin Ham is starting to get some things down. Now, I do want to also talk about Russell Westbrook. Once again, Russell Westbrook should not be coming off the bench. He should not be coming off the bench. Russell Westbrook should solely, should be in that starting lineup, especially when you play him anyway. He was fourth in minutes. Anthony Davis, Hachi, man, dog, Hachi, man, I love Hachi out there, man. He is a efficient player. He was 8 for 12, 2 for 4 from the 3-point line, 9 boards, 19 points. He's a slasher. He's going to do the dirty work. He'll play solid defense. I like the idea of that he's in that starting lineup. Only thing I would do is take Troy Brown out of that starting lineup and throw Russell Westbrook in. That's all. Because that's who you have on the floor anyway. You say you want Russell Westbrook to bring the spark. Why not have the spark at the beginning of the game? It makes no sense. And if they go and if you saw in overtime, Russell Westbrook really kind of took over the game. If you look at the first possession in overtime, what did he do? They had the screen and roll with Anthony Davis. He was controlling the ball, and what they do, they got an easy bucket. Then what they do the next time, the same exact thing except in a low post. So AD came, set a screen for him. What did he do? He drove to a bucket, act like he was gonna put it up, dished it right to AD because if not, he would got a free layup. Then the next time, what does he do? Does the same exact thing with AD. AD comes almost at the, I would say at the not the top of the key, but almost kind of in that flirting with that the high block, low block area. But instead of him going towards the basket, he pops up and shoots a jumper. Russ was on. And when you have that type of mesh and players meshing together, they're virtually unstoppable. But also, Russell Westbrook, his defense is what's making him stay on the floor. He's guarding a Julius Randle. He's guarding a Jalen Brunson. He's guarding these guys, some of the best assignments and best players on the opposing team. So, hey, do I sit back and say, hey, the Lakers figured it out? No, but they're starting to figure it out, and they're starting to figure out, okay, how can we get the most out of our players on the floor, when they can use their, their skill set for them. Now, I will say this: it's going to change from game to game. You can't just think this recipe, and this is where basketball is tougher than most sports. Basketball is all matchups. And football is matchups as well too, but basketball is all matchups. And but the thing is, there are greater anomalies that can happen, when players just go off or go crazy and take over a game. But for the most part, the regular season, it's all matchups. How well do you match up with the team night in, night out? And when you can play different types of schemes, like, hey, look, Anthony Davis, this game, there's gonna be a lot of pick and roll. Hey, but the next 2 games we're gonna be playing, we're gonna need you to face play with your back against the basket. So Darvin Ham has to realize, okay, what's gonna be most effective versus whatever team, and then how can I get the most out of the players? So I think that the Darvin Ham and the Lakers, they're on to something. I love the pick and roll, 1-5 pick and roll, whether it was Russ and LeBron. I love the 2-4, 2-3 pick and roll, even if it's Russ and LeBron. 2 highly efficient creative players, 3 highly efficient creative players that can do quite a bit with the rock, and it makes them virtually unguardable. But I would say, hey, look, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you have not subscribed, please do subscribe. I definitely appreciate it. Once again, check me.